You all had a season for examinations. I think, how did you do in the exams?
Good, sir. Good. Very good, sir.
Did you hear that? This is the last time you are having the examination, hopefully, in this kind of online, part physical mode. Next term, I would like to see all of you here physically for the classes as well as for the examinations. This is a very crucial time for all of you. We have to go for the summer intensive projects, and we are already getting signals from the environment that COVID is again reappearing in different form. Though it is not that alarming, but yet you have to be very cautious. So at the outset, I advise all of you that through your summer internship project, through your field visits, etc., use the mask and don't take any chances. Okay, all of you need to promise me that you will not take any chances with your health. You will take good care of yourself, okay, and also take good care of your family. That is first. Number two is, I always maintain that the summer internship project is the first window through which the corporates will get to know you, not just see you, get to know you. Know you in terms of they will get to know how skilled you are, how knowledgeable you are, how competent you are, and most importantly, they will be able to see through the project your attitude to work, your attitude towards taking up a job and delivering. See, whatever be the project, when you approach to that project, the project may end up in some result which may not be meeting the requirement of a company. But if your approach is right, that is good enough for the corporates. So when you come back from summer internship, please remember this in your mind. The guideline is already given to you, and your mentors will always be there to guide you. Whenever you are having any kind of doubt through your summer internship regarding the approach, you please do not hesitate to connect with your mentors. Don't leave any gap here, because if you assume that, okay, after 2 months when I come back, I will manage. I'll manage a report and I will somehow be smart enough to answer the queries when the time of my time comes. But it actually do not translate into that. That is my experience. That is the experience of all our faculty. So, at the sake of repetition, at the cost of repetition, let me reiterate that remember, your SIP is the first window through which the corporates are going to watch it. Your future recruiters are going to watch it. It doesn't matter what form of SIP you are doing. It doesn't matter what is the topic of your SIP. But your approach is something which will come through. So that you please take care. The third thing that I want to talk about very briefly is about the next point in our agenda, that is about your choice of electives. What is this elective? Some people call it specializations, right? And as per our system, you have an option to specialize in 2 domains. And you have a combination of 8 plus 6 or 7 plus 7, right? 8-6 combination.
6 plus 6 plus 2.
6 plus 6 plus 2, and that 2 you can take from any of those domains, or you can take from outside also. So basically, if you are doing taking 6 electives in a particular domain, let's say HR or marketing or finance, then you are supposed to be specializing in that, or in some other business schools, they call it, you are a major in that. Okay, so call it major, call it concentration, call it specialization. So these all mean the same thing. That means you are seeking a career in that particular area. This year we have advanced the process so that you will apply yourself through your summer internship also, when you are going to a company, you will specifically look for elements of that particular specialization during your summer internship. Do you get me clearly? Earlier, after the summer internship, we were going through this process of choice of electives. By that time, your summer internship was over. So you did not have an opportunity to go back to the same company to actually look from that perspective. So you need to have a perspective of the elective you are choosing right now through your summer internship. Even if you are doing an internship on, let's say, on sales and marketing area, you are doing an internship and you have chosen a specialization in finance. Then you need to have that perspective in your mind while you are doing that summer internship. You need to look out for those kind of data, those kind of information from that company. You need to, that means internally for you, there is a small project, there is a mini project to also dabble with the finance, the accounts and all those kind of statements of that company. And there is an obvious purpose, there is the external purpose, that is the SIP, whatever I have been assigned. Please remember this. So you will go with a twin objective. And if it coincides, suppose you want to specialize in finance and you got a SIP in that particular area, so be it. There is no problem. Your analysis should be a little more incisive. Are you clear? Am I clear about this? I hope all of you are understanding what I am saying.
Yes, yes, sir.
So this time we have advanced it for your benefit, right? So that you go with that kind of clarity in mind, that you will pick up some extra information relating to the area you are looking for specialization through this summer internship. How it is going to help? When the elective classes will start, that means when the specializations will start, right in the next term, you will be more competent to engage your friends and your faculty in a discussion on those areas which you have noticed. Do you get me? So that is how it is going to happen. So you should frame lots and lots of questions in your mind relating to your area of specialization while you are doing this summer internship. Okay, so that is an additional task you should keep in your mind. The more you are prepared, the better you will get the results, not only in terms of your performance here as a student, but also in terms of performance as a manager later in life. I wish all of you all the best. I do not wish to take more time. I hand over to the session to Professor Sir once again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, yes. You have a question for me?
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. So proceed. So very briefly, we pray what has been read to you in terms of the SIT guideline and in terms of the evaluation in particular. We've had multiple sessions with Google sir, with our SIP coordinators, and we also with me. Okay. So I'll just take you through the evaluation. Are you able to see this screen? Can you share this screen? Evaluation screen, which is the silent aspect which I'm going to cover here. The evaluation rubrics, the report. Now, if you come to
Sir, your voice is not clear.
evaluation. First, the progress reports. What will these progress reports contain?
Sir, your voice is not properly audible here.
Yes, sir. Is it better?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Better. Okay. Let's remove this.
The mic is here, actually.
Document here. Progress reports, the three progress reports. Okay, first, with the review of literature or required text or text. So you need to review literature comprising of research articles, book chapters, case studies, other articles related to your SIP work. So broadly, when you know that you are going to work in a particular area, say for example, you are working on the personal selling, you are working on some data analytics, you are working on some market positioning, you quickly have to identify some book chapters which you have already read in your core course. So please use the remote access to library. I was inquiring with a few of you. A few of you have already activated the remote access to library, and a few others are still to activate the access to library, the remote access to library. So please do it as soon as possible while you are waiting for your SIP to start. Like some of the SIPs are going to start from 2nd May. That's the reason we have a small gap between completion of your examination and beginning of your SIP. And therefore, we are conducting this briefing session today and now. So, as you wait for your SIP to start, you should start reading, because by the time you are given a date, and if you don't start your reading now, you will be failing to submit your first continuous evaluation report in time. So that is the first thing. The two other continuous evaluation reports are designed in a manner that it becomes very easy to write your report at the end of your summer internship. For example, the second progress report captures the three aspects: the introduction, the objectives, and methodology. If you look at the structure of your SIP, these are the first half of your SIP work: introduction, objectives, and methodology. And the third comprise of the last three aspects: the results, discussion of the results, conclusion, and learning from the SIP work. So these three continuous evaluations will comprise of 30% of the weightage, that is 10% each. Okay? And please be mindful of the deadlines. So Bhuvan sir will be giving you an appropriate form with appropriate dates to submit, and all these will come to your faculty mentors. They will evaluate, and when there is a deadline, the faculty mentor will be submitting the evaluations by the deadline, and if you miss it, you get into trouble. So please don't get into trouble by mistake. So that is the first one, that is the continuous evaluation, 30%. This is of course the overall, which aligns with the grading pattern. Then we come to the final report. Will have introduction, objectives, methodology, results, discussion of results and conclusion, and learning from the SIP work. So everything goes by the components of the project itself. Next is about the executive summary. It's a one-page summary. We should capture the essence. For example, when you start to present your CVs to the recruiting companies, they would be very interested to know as to what you have done as a part of your SIP work. So this one-page summary would give a bird's eye view as to what you have done. There are many ways to write executive summaries, but what we are proposing is a simple way, a summary of these 5 to 6 aspects: a small introduction, very brief objectives, methodology, results, discussion of the results, and your learning from the SIP work. Then you have to present your work before a panel of faculty members, one being your faculty mentor. and this will have 20%, and you will be evaluated on the content, the delivery, the coherence, and the answers to questions. So be mindful of the format, introduction, objectives, the methodology, results or findings, analysis of the findings, conclusion, and the learning. So on an average, you have to write a report of about 20 pages plus annexures. Okay? Keep this guideline ready for reference at all points of time. As I have been reading some of you, if you have not created a directory in your computer, immediately after the meeting, create a directory giving it the name SIP and have all these documents into this folder or into this directory so that you have ready access. This should be the first document in your SIP directory in your computer. Create a subfolder to dump the materials, maybe book chapters, maybe research articles, maybe case studies, maybe some news extracts from the CMI newsletter which I send you daily. So keep all reading materials in a subfolder within the SIP folder. Okay? So this is very, as director said, just to repeat some of the things which he said, this is going to be the first window to present yourself on your industry readiness. So through this work, you are going to present to the recruiting company that you are actually ready for the industry. And if you look at the past experience, SIP presentation by the students substantial weightage. Okay, when you face the recruiter. Okay, so Govan sir is here. You already had multiple sessions with him. We'll have a small question answer session. If some of you have any questions, you can now ask your questions.
Good evening, everyone. So before we start with the Q&A, we've already had a detailed session on this, so I hope you don't have any problem. As has been explained, all the evaluation patterns have been given to you, and I have already taken a session on this. I just wanted to take 5 minutes of today for all of you and to tell that in meanwhile, what we have thought of, that all of you should have something of called a pre-SIP workbook. After this meeting, you will get a mail from internship ID where we will be sharing with you what is required in that workshop. It is a kind of pre-assessment for any kind of work that we are going to do. For last many years, we have been getting this feedback from the placement stakeholders that this is something the students need to be aware of and they should hit the ground running. So do not just sit between your now period and the period you're going to join. Make good use of that. For that, you will be getting this, so no need to write anything. But I just wanted to let you go through this. Yeah. Yeah. So what I want all of you to do, many of you must have got which company are going to be placed, what your role is going to be, and which industry that belongs to. So that's the first 3 things that we are going to do. That is what we are going to call the ICE framework, which means that you should know about your industry, you should know about your company, and you should know about your employment profile. That is the JD expectations. The first thing that you go to the company, these 3 things you should be remembering. We don't want to get any feedback that student is clueless in their first day of the SIP, right? If you have an SIP, if you know where you're going to do, these 3 things are the must. What you need to do for your industry, you need to know about the trends of the industry, you need to know about what is happening in the industry, you need to do some kind of research, you need to see who are the main players, what is the market revenue, what is the market potential, what are the future trends of this industry. If you go and sit in any interview, this is the first thing they would wish you to know. So make sure that you are conversant in that, right? You cannot be excused that if you don't know about a metal industry, if you have worked with Tata Steel, if you have worked in geo retails and you don't have to know about retail industry. The industry knowledge is a must. Then you should know about some of the important industry background that I have already explained. You should know about the company background also, and I cannot emphasize enough how much this is found wanting in your interviews. So you have worked in a company such as Britannia, but you don't know their product portfolio. You don't know their organizational hierarchy. You don't know what are the future trends, where it is going. What is omni-channel that Britannia is working for, right? So make sure you do your background work. You may have to do financials. You may have to do HR work, but this is the basic minimum you're required to know, right? And this is why we need to have a good grasp on company background. JD specific, very important thing that you should know what you're supposed to do. I have got so many calls last year that midway between their SIP, they don't know what they want to do, and what they have been doing, they have been sitting idle, right? If you do not get such specific information that what you're supposed to do, please ring the alarm bell. Let us know that you are not doing what you are not, what you're supposed to do. Do not wait till it's very late to tell us that you are not doing what you're supposed to do. Sometimes it can also get into your feedback. We get such negative feedback that students are not taking initiative. Your mentors could be very busy person and they could be a very up higher management. Make sure that you take your initiative and ask for your job. Do not wait till somebody is giving negative feedback about you. So you must know about your JD specific expectations. Deliverable, that is something you must do within first fortnight of your SIP, which means that sit with your manager and outline what you're supposed to deliver. It could be anything, but that communication should be clear. I don't want anybody to come and tell me that the student has not given what was supposed to be given, right? That clarity has to be from the beginning. If you have to do certain amount of sales, if you have to give a certain framework, if you have to suggest certain improvement in the policy, make sure that you are on the path from the beginning. Do not wait till the very late. So these are some of the important aspects that I wanted to do. Immediately joining the SIP, some of the things that you need to do is you have to understand what are the hierarchy, what is the formality, how you are going to get into that, right? Sometimes when you have gone into a company, you try to be inactive, which is not very much required because this is your first foray into industry. So make sure you do that. Lastly, all these guidelines will be given to you. Make sure that you go through all my guidelines. I have also given what is SIP workbook. So this workbook will be mailed to you tonight. Make sure that you start filling it. And it is something that you should be able to finish within the first week or whenever you are joining the company. So it is a kind of self-assessment for your SIP. Whatever I have explained will be there, but you have to fill that form. So it will start with the same thing, industry background, your company. So the same thing will be there, but it will be filled with what is the industry background. So you have to write. So you have to first write a brief report about your name, roll number, company name, topic of SIP, your company background. You need to write about company's background. Then you have to write about your JD if it is available and your objectives. This is something we will be expecting you to submit. We will be floating a Google link and you have to submit this, right? So all these deliverables, all these SIP, all these frameworks will be also delivered to you tonight itself. Make sure you go through that. And if you have any doubt, you can always come back to us. So that's all I wanted to say. If you have any doubts, we are open for Q&A.
Thank you, Bhuvan. As you are preparing to ask a question, just I would like to add one thing. Create a daily report. Okay? So you could create it in a notebook. So create a notebook for 2 months, 8 weeks. And every day, please record what you have done. Even if you have just read one article, even if you have just spoken to 2 people, write that. So that when you start to write your report, it becomes very handy. You will come to know actually what you have actually done. Okay? Yeah, quick questions. I hope we are audible.
Yeah. So I think if you don't have question, we'll move ahead. At any point of time, as you know, you can always contact us for SIP. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, if someone is doing two internship, then do we have to make two separate report or what?
So one will be the official one, which you have to submit. Another one, if it is unofficial, we don't want you to submit that. You can do it.
SIP is only one. We have to choose which one is your SIP, summer internship.
So there will be one for which you have to submit the certificate from that company. Okay.
I think at this point, let me intervene because he raised this issue. Sit down, please. Please remember the SIP is a 8 credit course. And 8 credit course means we just discussed that 6 electives amounts to a specialization, right? So you have to treat it with respect. That means for 4 courses, that means 30 into 4, 120 hours of knowledge input, right? So this will be your outcome. You have to give that kind of output to the corporate. So there is no question of any compromise here, right? So when you are doing 2 SIPs, you have to remember like that. Both SIPs cannot be done in this kind of manner. So the one which you are going to submit here, that has to have that kind of an output in terms of quality, in terms of content, in terms of depth.
604
Always compare it with 4 courses. That huge. Not a small thing. Don't take it as lip service. Don't take it casually ever. The more seriousness you attach to the SIP, you are going to impress the corporates more and more. Please remember this. And I have seen in my life that people who have done great SIPs, just after going through the SIP, they bag offers. They don't ask a single question after that. And very good offers people have got. And immediately good jobs. So try to do your SIP in that kind of a mindset. Okay? 4 courses, 120 hours of knowledge input. Please remember. So your knowledge output or your whatever output will come out of that. Anybody who will read, he should feel it is worth 120 hours of learning. He should feel it is worth that for 8 credits. It is not just a giveaway. Always keep this in mind.
Okay. We'll move to the next, that is choice of electives at 71.5, which has 3 seats. I hope you have been able to see that file. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
So firstly, the rules. So this is just a reiteration. Areas of concentration. We offer 5 areas of concentration: HRM, marketing, finance, operations, and business analytics. Right? Second rule, we should have either 1 area of concentration or 2 areas of concentration. If you are choosing 1 area of concentration, you have to choose 10 electives in that particular area and 4 electives from any areas. Next rule is about the 2 areas of concentration, which is applicable to most of you. Only a handful of you may actually choose to have a single area of concentration. There you have to choose 6 electives for the first area of concentration and 6 electives in the second area of concentration. There is no major minor. Why you call first and second? Because you know transcript. The first one will be written first and the second one will be written after the first one. That is the only difference. There is no other difference in terms of the choice of elective. Then you have to choose 2 electives from any area. You could choose from your first area, you could choose from your second area, or you could choose from some other area. Actually, this opportunity is created so that you have opportunity to choose some interesting courses from areas other than your areas of concentration. Then, the distribution of electives. In semester 3, you can choose 8 electives, not more than that. And in semester 4, you can choose 6 electives. So total electives will be 14 electives in the 2 semesters. Then there are compulsory electives in 3 areas of concentration. A, in human resource area, we have the performance management and HR analytics. They are compulsory electives. In marketing, it is consumer behavior and sales and distribution management. And in finance, it is SAPM, security analysis and portfolio management, and corporate finance too. So these are the electives. These are semester-wise, area-wise electives given. You have to choose from these electives, right? Now I have given you a working sheet. So all of you should understand the working sheet and start filling up the working sheet, because we'll have about 1 week's time to give an application on which you have to actually enter the data. Gives us time, you do your research, talk to your faculty, talk to your mentors, talk to your friends, talk to yourself, and fill up the sheet. How do you fill up the sheet? First, write your first area of concentration here. We have already briefed you in one of the earlier occasions where many of you, out of I think about 180 of you, have already given your areas of concentration. That was for a different purpose. You could make changes. I got so many emails. Can I change? I said, yes, hold on. I'll tell you at the opportune moment. Okay. So that was just to make you sensitive about the electives, the choice thereof, and the importance of it in your career. Okay. So write the first area of concentration, then write the second area of concentration. Then come to the courses. First area of concentration. First course should be your compulsory course. Okay, if there are 2 compulsory courses, write down the 2 compulsory courses first. So you have to choose 6, it could be 3, 3, it could be 2, 4, it could be 4, 2. So start writing down the electives in the first area, then start writing the electives in the second area, start writing the electives in the other areas. Total courses in semester. What should be this figure? Ajay, what should be this figure?
Total courses in semester 3.
What should be it? 8. That's right. Now come to the 4th semester. Similarly, there are no compulsory courses here. Okay. So choose the courses for the first area, choose the courses for the second area, choose the courses from the other areas. What should be total here?
6. The 6.
6. What should be total here? Total number of courses, the first area of concentration. What should it be?
So 6 or 10.
6 or 10. If it is single area, it will be 10.
It will be 10.
If it is 2 areas, it will be 6.
6.
Total number of courses, the second area of concentration.
6 or 4.
If it is 1 area, 0. If it is 2 areas, 6. And total number of courses in the, sorry, these other areas, not first area. In the other areas, 2. So, you see that this, by counting the courses, you should balance. If you complete this working sheet correctly, there will be no mistake and there will be no necessity of unnecessarily changing. Okay, but there is a rider. There could be some courses where the enrollment falls below the threshold limit of 20. Then you have to choose another course. It may happen for 1 or 2 courses, so don't worry about it. Feel free in choosing your courses. We have given you 64 courses. So you have ample choices. The 2 semesters, yes, there are 64 courses. So you have a good choice of courses. Okay? So go through this file again. Look at the rules, look at the courses, look at the working sheet, and start completing the working sheet. Talk to your faculty mentor, talk to the respective faculty members who is teaching the course. I have also given the names of the faculty members who will be teaching the courses. Okay, so during this 1 week, do your homework and make a good choice, make an informed choice. Okay, now we'll hand over the session to my colleagues who will brief you on the courses in little more detail, starting with Professor Sumita Mishra for the electives on the HRM area. Ma'am, over to you.
Sumita, before you start, one point I want to mention and I have to go for some other.
Sir.
Students, please remember that these electives, while you opt for, there could be a situation, something you have opted for, and just because of the less number of students opting for that particular elective, it may not run. Okay. So you don't have to lose heart, because your university has subscribed to Coursera. You have already got a notice earlier, right? So you have to enroll it immediately. The moment it is communicated to you that these are the electives which are running, in case that elective doesn't run, so enroll for Coursera immediately for those kind of electives. So you will get add-on certificates on that. So no reason for feeling disheartened. Okay? I thought I'll mention this.
Good afternoon to all of you. I'll be making a very short presentation on behalf of the OB and HR area. Today my area colleagues are not there because they are engaged in classes, and so I'll be speaking on their behalf. Now, if you look at the OB and HR area, our electives are balanced, keeping in mind OB and HRM, and we have a little, we are a little heavy for the 4th semester, and we have around 5 running electives in the 3rd semester. So what I'm going to do now is I'll run through the electives that we are offering. We have a total of 5 plus 7, which is 12 electives in both the semesters. So little review of the electives which are there and the 4 electives of the area. Okay. Now, if you look at the 3rd semester is completely, aligned. By the way, both semesters are aligned to the placement process, but 3rd is also very heavy on the 4 electives. Now, these are the electives that we are offering in the 3rd. The first is HRP and selection. Now, HRP is Human Resource Planning and Selection. This is a combination of 2 papers. One is Manpower Planning and the other is Recruitment and Selection. So we'll first start with the idea of forecasting human resources. So the first review that I'm giving you on this course is forecasting by demand and supply. So how are you looking at manpower planning from both demand and supply angles? Then what is the meaning of restructuring in planning? And how do you go to recruitment and selection? There are many students who confuse them as one single process, but it's a cycle starting from recruitment and ending with recruitment. Okay? So that is the first, which could be taken by Dr. Devi Prasad Das. Then would come our offering from the IR area. Please remember that OB and HR is never complete, and an integral part of this area is industrial relations. So IR is the next area that we are looking at, and that is labor laws and industrial relations, which has always been taken by Dr. Isha Mishra. So what are the important highlights of the course? You'll be having important industrial concepts and statutes, the laws basically, then trends in labor governance and the role of labor administration in industrial relations. This I did not say is very, very important from the point of view of placements. There are many companies who would love to ask you questions here, and it's vast because of these legal statutes. Then now, just prior to this area briefing, Professor Ashok sir told you something about the concept of core electives. Now, all areas basically HR, finance, marketing will definitely offer certain electives which are considered to be core to the area. That means if you come to HR area, you would have to take these electives, and for us, they are performance management and HR analytics. So performance management, I did not tell you whether you are a part of HR or not a part of HR, doesn't matter. I think everyone who enters into a company will get evaluated. So performance management is a generic course which I think almost every MBA student should have some idea about when they are setting out into the corporate world. So it's the PMS life cycle that we would be looking at. Then PMS life cycle is again divided into so many parts. All of those parts would be taken care of. And we end the course with new trends in performance management, differences between performance and potential, and something that is emerging today, not emerging, emerged, that's called performance analytics. So that is a course that I would be handling. Then of course, HR analytics, that's our second core offering. And HR analytics is running in its third year this year. Now, HR analytics again would be, comprising of three different parts. What are those three parts? The first is the whole idea of HR metrics versus HR analytics. So, what are those areas or verticals of HR which would lend themselves to analytics on their own? So, we're looking at hiring, we're looking at attrition, we're looking at L&D, we're looking at talent and performance. So that would be the first part of it, and then we would go into data visualization, descriptive analytics in HR, and trading. Now, if you have questions regarding the software, what softwares would we be using? For the descriptive analytics, we will be using the R software, whereas for the predictive analysis, we will be using the SPSS. Now, if time permits, in the last year, there was a class where I had taken a single session on Tableau, and how Tableau help in data visualization in HR analytics. So this is the second core offering from the area. Then there is another elective in the third semester, that is compensation and reward management. So that is also taken by me. Now compensation comp and then basically is looking at job evaluation, and once again the differentiation of compensation into three parts: compensation, variable pay, and long variable pay again divided into short-term incentives, long-term incentives, and finally benefits. Okay, so that is how we would be going about comp and pay. Now, so I don't think I'll repeat this again. I have already talked about this. Our core electives are all situated, remember, in the third semester: performance management and HR analytics. Now, coming to the fourth semester, as I said, we are heavy in the fourth semester and we have many interesting electives in the fourth. So we start with leadership for corporate excellence, which is offered and taken by our senior faculty, Dr. Ikshita. Now, leadership is another course which is traditionally, OB related, dominated with OB concepts, and one of the most important courses in the area. And it talks about the modern and innovative theories of leadership as well as the traditional foundations of leadership. So we're looking at concepts like creative leadership, servant leadership, strategic, situational, and cross-cultural leadership. Then we come to another course called OD and Change. Now, what is OD? OD is organization development and change. So this is the only course, only window which looks at organization change. We don't talk about it. We may touch on it in other electives, but this is a course dedicated for the concept of change. Now here you will find one change. There are certain courses which have been taken this year by our co-educate faculty partners. Now, what is the meaning and concept of co-educate? Co-educate looks at very, very senior people in the industry who we partner with. That means if we're looking at HR, they are at the level of vice presidents and HR heads who come and handle courses for all of you. So we have 4 offerings in the fourth semester which are handled by co-educate faculty, starting with OD and Change. And to make it a lot more systemized, we appoint a faculty coordinator for the same. So for OD and Change, the faculty coordinator for the 2021-2022 was Dr. Isha Mishra. Then the next topic or the next elective that we have is HR accounting and audit. This again is taken by Dr. Isha. So you can have a chat with her should you be wanting to take this important course, only course on accounting and audit. Both of them are combined together. Then would come strategic HRM, which basically looks at how HR can be considered as a business partner. Now here, I would like to mention that in the previous year with some placements, there were many students who were interviewed for HR BP roles. So if you're looking at that kind of a role, then this subject is absolutely mandated. Once again, this is taken by co-educate faculty and Dr. Devi Prasad Das is the faculty coordinator from our end. Now, the remaining three are competency management, competency mapping, and managing the talent pipeline. Once again, it was a co-educate faculty who took the course with me being the faculty coordinator. So how would you develop a competency model? How would you develop assessment development centers? And what is the role of competency today in every vertical of HR? Is what this course is looking at. Then would come managing employee engagement, talent retention. These are very, very important areas in HRL, and this is handled by Dr. Devi Prasad Das. And the last of the co-educate courses is again another important course called training and development, which is looking at the training life cycle, strategic training, calculation of training ROIs, and what is the meaning of training metrics and analytics. Okay. Once again, co-educate faculty with Dr. Isha being the faculty point of contact. So in the fourth semester, there are 4 courses which are handled by co-educate faculty members, which were handled rather in this year and with faculty points of contacts. And the remaining 3 courses in the 4th semester are handled by our own faculty members. So a total of 7 courses in the 4th semester and 5 courses in the 3rd semester. Please remember, in the 3rd semester, out of the 5 courses offered, we have 4 electives in the area. So this is the preview of the area, the people who are taking, the faculty members, and in short, what the courses are talking about. Okay. Now, to round off the discussions, I thought that from the area, this we can look at it. There are some expected job profiles which go hand in hand with the kind of electives that we are offering, starting from HR generalist, very important role, and a role which is very often offered by companies. Then what is L&D professionals? These are training and development professionals, PA and analytics, like I said, HRBP. And finally, with companies like AppComs, they are looking at a typically IR profile. So this is how our 12 electives from the area stand. And if there are any questions, you can ask now or you can contact our colleagues in the area. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon to all of you. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. So, in finance and economics area, we have total 13 electives. 7 electives that's there in semester 3 and 6 electives that is there in semester 4. So that you can see here, that is international financial management, SAPA, that's a core course. Then business analysis and valuation, corporate finance 2, banking and financial services, financial time series analysis, then financial market and regulations. Similarly, in fourth semester, that is M&A, that is merger acquisition and corporate restructuring, derivatives and risk management, financial reporting, corporate governance, risk management in banks, and fixed income and alternative investment. And this is a new elective that we have introduced this time, that's clear. Right. So this is the list of electives that we are offering this year. Maybe we will little about these electives, but briefly I'll just cover the coverage and where the job possibility that is there. So first one is that is international financial management. We cover here just like Indian financial system. We cover here the international financial system, including like foreign exchange market, international trade and finance, like balance of payment and your financing like Exim Bank and other kind of role. Then international investment opportunities what are there. So what are the job opportunities that's available for the students who have taken this kind of electives, like in banks and financial institutions, those who are into international trades. Also the companies dealing with foreign trade. So these days you might be finding that almost all the companies are dealing with other nations. So this course will be more useful for those kind of activities. So Professor Shikta and Professor S.N. Misra, they will be taking this course. You want to add anything? Second one is this is security analysis and portfolio management. This is a core course, core elective course. So this includes completely about the stock market. So how the stock market operates, okay. Then what are the kind of securities that's there, how you are going to make portfolios, how you are going to select the stocks, then how you are manage the portfolios, how you are going to monitor the portfolios, okay, how you are going to measure the performance of the portfolios. Also, how your efficient market can be measured. Different type of your efficient markets like your semi-strong form, weak form, and your strong form of market efficiency. So all those are discussed here. This is completely about your stock market. And the job opportunities are massive job opportunities for the students who have taken these kind of electives, like in stock broking firms, equity research firms, then like for the market analyst, okay, consulting firms also. So they are taking the students who have some kind of exposure towards these kind of electives. And AMCs also, asset management companies, they also have the students who have some exposure towards this kind of process. It's very important. That's why we keep this one as a core elective course in finance. So I'm just briefly just going through all the electives. If you have any specific queries, you can ask me, or you can ask to the respective faculties, or you can come to me also. I can explain in detail. Third one is that is business analysis and valuation. This is BAV course, which is we generally call it a valuation course. Okay. So here the focus is basically I am taking this course, and so far as this SFM course is concerned, Saroj Rautrai. Saroj Rautrai is going to take that. Then so far as this business analysis is concerned, that we I segregate this course into two parts. One is equity valuation, and second one is business valuation. Different kind of the models that we discuss through cases. All cases, that is SBR cases that I include here, and different valuation techniques like your DCF method, then utility valuation method, and option pricing method. All those methods through the real life data and the cases that I cover this course. The job opportunities like generally in financial consulting firms like McKinsey or Goldman Sachs, okay, PwC. So all these kind of the companies, they are into valuation, equity valuation as well as business valuation kind of. And this course has has some kind of a linkage with another course that is your MSCR course, merger acquisition and corporate restructuring. So that financial consulting firms, analysts like market, business and equity analysts, then those who are looking for the students to for your corporate finance kind of your areas, so they also pick up the guys who have some exposure to all this. So this is a one important course like your all business valuation and analysis. Then this is corporate finance 2. This is also another core elective in our area. So you have been taught like your corporate finance 1, and this is one extension to that corporate finance 1. Okay. So only basic means fundamentals that was there in corporate finance 1, but this is more specialized kind of topics that we have included in corporate finance 2. So that we have included only the capital budgeting, fundamentals of capital budgeting in CF1. But here that is capital budgeting with risk part, okay, extended. Then your dividend functions, then capital structure principles, theories, and other things that is also included here. Then very important aspect is the working capital management. Okay, that's around 60% of the course coverage is towards working capital management, like your cash management, like your receivable management, then your inventory management. All those are included. So this is a very important course, the extension of corporate finance 1 only. And this is financial consulting firms, BFSI sector also, then your corporate finance roles, business, anywhere. Okay, that means somebody is having some fundamental knowledge about finance means corporate finance 1 and corporate finance 2. That is expected from the students generally. Then banking and financial services. This is fundamental course in banking. We have 2 courses, 3 courses on banking. Okay, banking and financial services. So this discusses about your Indian financial system, then retail and corporate banking structure, then financial services. What kind of services like your capital market related services, money market related kind of services that's offered by the banks, particularly the commercial banks, that is covered here. Also, that is your credit rating services like your CRISIL, ICRA or CARE ratings, how the rating is done. So all those kind of your activity that is coming under your financial services. So this is a fundamental course on banking operations and financial services. And that basically that your BFSI sector, those who want to join in BFSI sector, they can choose this kind of course. Then your rating agencies, agencies, and your depository also. So they recruit the students those who have taken this kind of courses related. Then similar to that your banking and financial services, we have another course. This is financial market and regulation part. Okay. So the coverage includes that is financial market structure. Like suppose your SEBI is there, then your stock exchanges are there, NSDL, CDSL is there, okay, or depositories are there. So what is their structure? What is the regulation part? So that over here. Then financial market regulated approaches, then interest rate structure and theories, then derivative in the financial market. That is covered. So this part is completely financial, focusing only on financial market and regulations, but that one is focusing only on banking and financial service. This is the division of your topics. And the opportunities that is as like your banking and financial services, like your BFSI, regulatory agencies, and your business analysis kind of programs. They recruit the students, those who have some kind of exposure to this kind of business. Then this is another course that is financial time series analysis. Okay, this is a bit quantitative course, right? So here, what we include, because as you know, there are some kind of basically in finance and economics, we deal with time series data, right? So all type of data that we discuss is time series data, yearly data with different variables. So here in this course, that how the time series data is to be analyzed. Okay, we will use here 2 two softwares that we are proposing to use. One is R as well as Stata. Okay, that is going to be used. Some basic tools that we are going to include here, that is your regression model, and within regression also, we will see that your logistic regression, multinomial logistic regression, then you also will see that your panel data regression also will use. Then your ARIMA model, then your ARTS model, that all those. Then those terms of लिखा हुआ है, don't scare with those terms. Okay, arts and other things. Okay, those are very simple terms that will be very much useful, right? Then your macro switching model and your neural network, generally your binary models, okay, will use with the help of your R. We'll try to use R, and in some cases we'll use Stata. So this course, me and Nikhil both are going to take this course, right? So because these days you see, because this is a part of your financial analytics course, part of the financial analytics course, quantitative course, right? So BFSI sector, the research firms and your financial analyst kind of the roles who are looking for. Because these days you might be seeing that your business analysis analyst or your financial analyst kind of your jobs, that is opportunity is much higher in the industry. So that is the course. Then these are the courses that I am going to start for semester 4. Okay. So first course is merger acquisition and corporate restructuring. That I was talking about. This course has some kind of close linkage with BAV course. Okay, business analysis and valuation. Right. So this includes your merger process, value creation, okay, M&A valuation. Okay, how the standalone companies that we value. Recently, you might have heard about your Twitter case. Okay, that your tender offer is given, open offer is given by Elon Musk. Okay, so all those kind of, then your poison pill, that one anti-defense strategy that is adopted by the company. So those kind of things are discussed here. Okay, so they are very much practical, and here also we use. I am taking this course, okay, MSCR course, and here also SBR cases are used completely. So here, that is financial consulting firms, business analytics, then your corporate finance tools who are looking for. So this will have some kind of exposure towards this course. Then derivative and risk management. Okay, this will be taken by Nikhil Srivastava. So that is derivative market, like your instruments, different type of instruments, like your futures, options, swaps, okay, all those kind of interest rate swaps. So all those derivative instruments that will be over here, derivative trading strategies. Okay. So as I heard that we use that your data, real life data, which is downloaded from the NSE website. So you take the data from NSE website and you analyze and take the this. So here also the opportunity that is there in BFSI, then you analyze MNCs, okay, asset management companies, private equity firms also. Okay. So they also look for the people who have some kind of exposure towards this kind of courses. Then financial reporting and corporate governance. So this will be taken by Professor Viraj Mahathi, right? So this is mostly a kind of theoretical course. So this includes IFRS and Indian accounting standard, financial statement analysis, very important. How then like your ratio analysis and different other kind of tools that is used, how the company's financial statements are to be analyzed to take informed decision, right? Then your corporate governance practices, corporate scams, and your forensic audit and other things, that is also discussed here. Reporting process. So here again, the opportunities that is there as business analyst and your accountant and your corporate finance roles. Okay, so that is also there. Then next is risk management in banks. Okay, so banks we have 3 different courses. One is banking and financial services, then financial market and regulation, And this one is another specialized course, particularly focusing on your risk management compliance. Okay. So Professor Robin Mahanti, he will be taking this course. And this coverage includes that your risk exposure, different type of your risk that the banks are exposed to. Maybe operational risk, credit risk, interest rate risk, market risk, foreign exchange risk. Okay. So all those kind of your risk, how that is going to affect the bank's performance and other things, that is going to be the coverage. Then your regulatory approaches for risk management, asset and liability management, that's a very, very important aspect. Okay. So how the asset and liability, okay, ALM, asset liability management. Many times there is a mismatch of assets and liability. So how the assets and liability of the banks that will be managed, so that will be the coverage. And finally the techniques that is used for managing the risk. Okay. Identifying the risk, then how you are going to control the risk, then how you are going to manage the risk. Then basically the job opportunities that will be there in PFSS. Then this is the last course, that is fixed income and alternate business. Okay. So because you see, we have equity instruments as well as fixed income. Fixed income means debt instruments. Okay. Fixed income means that is debt instrument. So this course is basically for debt instrument and alternative investments. Like fixed income securities, what are the different type of fixed income securities? How you are going to value the fixed income securities? Okay. So valuation of fixed income securities and hedge funds and your PE fundings or your private equity funding, that is also part of your alternative financing for the companies. So fixed income trading strategies, that is also covered here. And the last one is behavioral finance part. Okay. So this is a new course that we are putting this time. Okay. So because you see, you might have seen that in the market, behavior of the individuals, behavior of the investors, that driving towards your different way of trading in the market. Sometimes there is a bull trading, bull run that is going on. Sometimes there is a bearish trend that is going on. So what kind of your behavior of the investors that is driving the market towards different way of trading. So generally we cover here behavioral finance market strategy, different kind of your theories that is there. Okay. Very good theories are there, and from those theories we are going to derive. Okay. So we are going to identify the behavior of the investors. What kind of your behavior and how he is going to take the decision from that. Then your behavioral finance and investing ways, then your empirical evidences of behavioral finance. Maybe your some kind of your cases, she is going to take. Professor Sikta Singh, she is going to take this course. You want to say anything on this course?
All of you. So first time we are going to take up this course, which will be complementing the courses in finance area, as you have seen in FPM as well as other of the courses. So this will drive the attitude of an investor, how particularly the individual as well as the institutional investors, how do they react? Any kind of positive or a negative news, how do investors respond to that? So this is something, some kind of sentiment analysis which you are going to do as a part of this course. So very much.
So this is also the opportunity that will be there in financial consulting firms, then BFSI and your equity research firms. Okay. So all in all, this is the complete gamut of electives that we offer for you. If you have any queries, you can just ask. Otherwise, just discuss with your friends, seniors, faculty, then you can use. Okay. Thank you.
Well, very good afternoon. I'm Dr. Vishnu Das. I'm professor in marketing management. In the absence of our area chair, Professor Jai, he's on travel now. That is why I'm making a presentation of the subject that we have in the ensuing semesters. Well, marketing is a very interesting area, I would say, to teach in this subject. It fascinates everybody because it generates money. And it's a glamorous subject. Glamorous more so when it comes to because we ensure strategic sales to happen. We combine all the subjects related and make sure that we for a good market. Off and on, as much that I have seen over the trends, I've been looking for School of Languages very recently. That's how I've been had any interactions before 1 year. Thereafter, I again come back to the school. I've never had any interaction before. So that is where I just wanted to tell myself and then I go ahead with the topic. Because the subject that we have over a period of last 20 years, I've been serving here in the school for the last 20 years. As much that I have seen, invariably 70 to 80% of the students, they opt for marketing. They opt for marketing just because there is a good placement. They opt for marketing just because the SIPs are all into marketing, more or so. Right? So marketing has played a very dominant role, pivotal to the subject of the program that we offer in Brent. So in that scope, what we have seen, most of the guys who take up marketing, they engage with respect to that when it comes to placement. And simultaneously, they train themselves when it comes to SIP. So the subjects are very interesting. We have a plethora of subjects that we have. So coming to the subjects, what I say, why I wanted to tell all this, I would just let you to attract all of you to understand what marketing is. If you have any clarifications, you can talk to the faculty, talk to me, or talk to any other faculty because we all are MBAs. So for that matter, we can explain. So coming to the semester 3 that we have, primarily most of the faculties we have in our area are stalwarts in their own field. They have got the profiling and profile themselves to that of the subject they have been known and they have been instrumental in developing most of the programs which are brought in education. And they are into consulting as well. In some way or other, they are engaged in multi-pronged ways. To speak about Subrata, to speak about Professor Surya Misra, to speak about all our faculties. So coming to these are the subjects, I would just like to tell you, marketing management in the area, in third semester, we have these are the courses. Consumer behavior by Professor Bhupandit and Professor Udaditya sir. They were both engaged. And product and brand management, Professor Subhata Tripathi, Dr. Arvind Tripathi. And services marketing will be taught by Dr. P.R. Sahu. Sales and distribution management will be taught by our Professor Jaideep Biswas, who is our area chair. And business to business, B2B marketing will be by Piyush Pratibharma sir. So he will be teaching there. And integrated marketing will be taught by me and Professor Udaditya. This integrated marketing communication is advertising. So digital and social media marketing will be taught by Professor Surya Misra. Data mining and business intelligence will be taught by Professor J.R. Hota. And that's it. Sorry, I've exceeded to marketing. I just want to come to the four. So marketing management semester 4 starts with these of the courses. We have retail management, which will be taught by Dr. Abhishek Kumar. You have real estate marketing, which will be taught by me. You have Customer Relationship Management by Professor Surya Misra, Hospitality and Tourism Marketing by Professor P.R. Sahu, Marketing Research by Professor Piyush Das, Agency and Media Management by Professor Arvind Tripathi and Professor Udaditya Padi, and Pricing Management by Dr. Asad Sir, Digital Marketing Analytics by Professor Surya Misra. So these are the courses which have been offered in marketing. I would ask you to join some of the courses wherever you feel good, based on your,
So just a small correction. The integrated marketing communication will be handled by Professor Biswajit Das, and the consumer behavior will be handled by Professor Bhavati. Small corrections. Okay. And next is this pricing management is also offered in the finance area. We have cross offering of courses, and I'll come to the other courses which have cross offering between areas. So this is a course which is applicable to both the finance area as well as the market. Although the course is being offered by the marketing area, also available for students in the finance area.
So guys who all are interested, you can take up these courses. And I would urge you to talk to the respective faculty if you want, or talk to me. I'm there also. I'm there in the campus at room number 24. Otherwise, also you talk to your respective faculty who are teachers. That would be nice of you. You can explain, and all the contents of the syllabi that you have for respective courses, you can also read into it and get to know. If you have any doubts, you can again ask. Right. So with this, I think I'm done with these courses, whatever you know. So 2 courses like personal pitching, 2 courses that I'm teaching. One is real estate marketing, one another integrated marketing. If you are wanting to take up, please seek clarification. These are 2 of the courses. So MC is all about advertising. You'll have a fun time. So just enjoy.
Yes. Anything on marketing? Because more than half of you would have first area of concentration as marketing, and more than half of the jobs are in the area of marketing and sales. Okay. Okay. My colleagues were supposed to be presenting the other areas are not there. I'll very briefly take you through the other 2 areas, business analytics and the operations management. We already have gone through a core course in business analytics. Okay. So this is an area which is pretty new in this school, just 3 years old, but it is gaining momentum. And there is a lot of demand, but this area requires a very different kind of focus. So if you are really focused, you wish to make a career, start a career in analytics, business analytics, be on to it. Okay. Data mining and business intelligence. Wherever you find an asterisk, that means there are cross offerings in more than one area. Just I said, like pricing management, it is offered both in marketing and finance. Similarly, this course is offered in analytics and also in the operations management area, which I will come little later. Second, introduction to marketing analytics. Third, analytics toolbox. Fourth, HR analytics. For example, Sumita ma'am briefed you regarding HR analytics. So it's a course which is offered in the HR area as well as in the business analytics area. Next is about data analysis using R. You have been introduced to R in the core course. So this course will take you to better application, more applications of R. Even there is a course which Professor K.K. Rai briefed you, where when R will be used in analysis of the time series data. Okay. So these are the 5 courses in the 3rd semester in the business analytics area. And if I come to the semester 4, machine learning and artificial intelligence, Professor Hotar, this is again a course which is offered in another area. Advanced business analytics, supply chain analytics, predictive analytics using SAS, and text mining and analytics. We'll have a faculty member assigned to it. So these are the courses which are being offered in the business analytics area. And then I come to the areas where we do not offer them as area of concentration, but there are courses which you can offer as the two courses which you can choose from other areas. For example, information technology management, data mining and business intelligence, enterprise resource planning systems. So although we do not offer information technology management as an area of concentration, these two courses are available for interested students. Similarly, although we do not offer strategic management as an area of concentration, we have one course, blockchain application business. Today, if you look at international trade, international business, international supply chain management, blockchain has become very popular too. And blockchain itself is becoming a course. Okay, with a large number of courses. We have made a beginning in the last year, and this course has attracted very good attention. And Professor Piyush will handle this course, which is in the 3rd semester. Then I come to the operations management. Yeah. So we have 4 courses in the operations management. Data mining and business intelligence, which has cross offering, enterprise resource planning, total quality management, and managing service operations. These are the courses which are offered in the 3rd semester, and in the 4th semester, we have e-business, supply chain management, project management, and machine learning and artificial intelligence. Okay. One more thing regarding electives. All electives have a credit structure of 1.5, 0, and 0.5, which means every elective course will have a project component. There will be no mid-semester examination. So 0.5 credit for project means 20% of the evaluations will be based on a project. And we are trying to get into industry projects. That is, a teacher develops a project and that gets aligned to industry. And that is also going to be aligned to the so-called faculty-led industry projects. Okay. So when you are doing 6 plus 6 plus 2, 14 electives, will be actually doing 14 projects. And when you start to appear before the campus placement processes, by the end of or mid of the 3rd semester, and by the end of the 3rd semester, you will have 6 to 8 solid projects over and above your summer internship project. Okay, I think this is all I had to brief. So be familiar about the rules, go through the process, and fill up the choice vacancy seat. Wait for the application, which will come to you in a week's time, so that you can enter the data into the application, where we capture the data based on the application, and then we start to operationalize and run the courses. Okay. So finally, how many students are here? Any questions before we close?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I wanted to ask that in semester 3 there are 8 electives we need to choose. So do we need to choose from two concentration, or will it be the three? Means like you said that there we need other subjects, like it is six and two. Sorry, six subjects we need to choose. That's the thing.
What is your area of concentration?
Sir, for first it will be finance, and the second it will be business
Let's
finance.
fill up your form. What is your area of concentration?
The finance, sir.
Who is
First
it?
area.
Who is it?
Sir, Rahul, sir.
Rahul. Yes, Rahul. What is your area? Rahul, are you in video or no?
No, sir.
I'm on video.
Sir, I have connectivity issue, sir. There is no.
Okay,
no,
Rahul.
sir.
What is your first area of concentration? Open your working
Sir,
sheet in your computer. Please open your working sheet on your computer.
Yes, sir.
Tell me your first area of concentration. Write your first area of concentration here, second area of concentration here.
Yes, sir.
What is your first area of concentration? Rahul, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Rahul, then please respond.
Yes, sir.
What
Yes, sir.
is
Yes,
your
sir.
first area of concentration?
Sir, it will be finance and the core subject of
Finance.
elective core. Yes, sir.
Write down finance here. Second area of
Yes, sir.
concentration.
Business analytics.
Write down business analytics here. Now come to this table. Finance means you have to write down the two core courses first.
Yes, sir.
Analytics, there are no core courses, no compulsory electives. So you can choose. Now, you can do 3-3, you can do 4-2. Write down the two more, which you want to take. Then come here. Accordingly choose 3. Say, hypothetically, you are choosing 3. 4 plus 3, 7. Then other areas you have to choose 1 to make it 8.
Sir, if I choose area of concentration as a 5 subject and then 3 in second area of concentration.
You can. Then you have to choose 2 from other areas in the 4th semester. You have to balance both. This should be 8. This should be 6. This should be 6. This should be 6. This should be 2. Horizontal balance, vertical balance.
No, sir, that in semester 3 we need to choose 8 electives. So it can't be to 5 and 3.
It can be 5, 3, 0. No problem.
And in semester 4 it is 6. So we can choose 4 and 2.
If you choose 4, is it balancing vertically?
Because in the rules it has written that in 2 areas of concentration, 6 from first area, 6 from second area, and 2 from any other area.
This should be 6, this should be 2. This should be 8, this should be 6. And this is 14. 14 this way, 14 this way. Right? Clear? This figure is 14. 6 plus 6, 12, plus 2 equals to 14. 8 plus 6 equals to 14. Rahul, is it clear?
Yes, sir, it is. Yes, sir.
Yes? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir, we have to take two areas of 2 papers from other areas.
Other areas. Yes, anyone else? Start working. In case you have any difficulty, feel free to get back to me. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So do little bit of iteration. 5, 3, 4, 4, 3, 4. 2 iterations. But finally, when you do your final sheet, you should balance. 8 plus 6 equal to 14. 6 plus 6 plus 2 equals to 14. Right? Yes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay then, we'll close now. Okay? Take care. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
So,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.